Hey, Damien, James Tully here with ABC Action News. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, man. I bet you're real excited. And countdown is on. It's just a couple hours away here, huh?
Yeah. Oh, we're in it, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's really cool for us because our station is literally right across the street from Raymond James Stadium. So when you walk
Awesome.
in there and if you look over like Himes Avenue side, that's us. So I'm going to be on the roof of the station Friday morning previewing everything. We're really excited. I will say, as a wrestling fan myself, and I had a really big influence on our producers making sure that we cover this and spend some time Friday morning because it's a big deal. And I'm glad I get a chance to talk to you a little bit about it. I wanted to
Cool.
start with this though. I used to work for a station that actually aired Ring of Honor wrestling.
Uh,
And are you surprised, being as that's where you got your start pretty much? We can call it the minor leagues a bit when compared to WWE, but are you surprised that so many guys from Ring of Honor, yourself included, can carry the ball here with the WWE on some big stages like WrestleMania?
no, it's because the individuals that passed through Ring of Honor ended up here are exceptional. Like these guys are so good. I think Ring of Honor picked up on the indie scene, bringing in the biggest indie acts first, and then the WWE capitalized on that. Whereas, like, instead of focusing abroad, everywhere, it's like, oh, well, they're literally giving us the tools like right here, so we could see it firsthand. Who can we see as being a potential future superstar? Um, and I think that Ring of Honor knew that as well. Like they know that they're not on the same level, but they could take advantage of superstars before they're ready. Um, yeah, I'm not surprised though. Like I said, the individuals that have come out of Ring of Honor, it speaks for themselves. Like they didn't need to go through Ring of Honor, so to speak, but it helped them make the transition easier because it is a television product. So it kind of gives you a little bit of prep work, so to speak.
I think that's what surprised me. Yeah, I would agree. I was going to say television products the main thing because communication. We're both in the communications business. I mean, very different. I mean, I wish there are times I wish I could use some wrestling maneuvers in my at my station every once in a while. Outsider's Edge or whatever, Razor's Edge is your the move that you borrowed and you use. I'd put that
Yeah.
on some people. But hey, look, I mean, I'm so impressed with the communication skills that I see with all of you guys on top of just elite athleticism. And I think that's what we want to get across to people. I'm sure it's something you want to bring up too. It's like, look, we don't just go in the ring and have this performance art and these feats of strength and athleticism. I mean, we're great communicators too. You have to be at this level.
Yeah, the idea is what we do is that we have to connect with our audience.
Right.
And the wrestling is awesome, of course. That's we love it. We have to do it all the time. But like you said, Razor's Edge, that's not something that everybody understands, like how to do or what it feels like. That's just not a common thing. But everybody can understand communication, like you said. Everybody can understand emotion. So we have to be versed in that as well and well versed at that. So for us, yeah, it's key to be able to communicate to our audience so that they can understand the emotion that we're trying to invoke, and vice versa. Like our business is an emotional based business. We need to feel our audience's emotion for us to react and to do our thing. So sometimes it's not just doing a move; it's communicating with people and then having them communicate back, and that's how there's an understanding, so to speak.
Now, it's so many things that people don't really pick up on. You just guys go in there. You're so good, you do it. As far as the outsider's edge go, the razor's edge, did it to an ex-girlfriend one time into a pool. I was really, really proud of myself. Actually, I hoisted her up. I made her watch all the WWE Network stuff, and then I'm like, well, we should try this.
Right,
Look,
you have to learn first.
right, exactly. You got to learn. I mean, it's one of the iconic moves of my childhood. You're going to be teaming up with Bad Bunny, Grammy winner. He is hot right now. Ooh, celebrity attractions. I mean, it's been a thing from the very beginning of WrestleMania. There's always that. And now you get to see yourself. You are that attraction match. You're in that. How does it feel? Before I ask you some more questions about what the preparation's like, this is a pretty big spotlight for someone in your position, isn't it?
Absolutely mind blowing. I mean, this is my first WrestleMania.
Right.
And being that it's my first WrestleMania, I get to be like that attraction match. Like there's a lot of eyeballs on this match. And it blows my mind that it's like, how did I get here? Like we talked, like the things that I've done to just get to the company and now to be in this position. I'm humbled and grateful. I'm nerve-wracking, yes, but I'm super excited. Bad Bunny's extremely excited. He's put in a lot of work and prep to be able to deliver something special to the fans, for his fans, for our fans, for the world. Yeah, it's going to be awesome, man. It's so cool to be in this spot.
Damien, let me ask you what your relationship's been like with him, because you guys have obviously spent a lot of time together, both on air, and I'm sure that you've worked together behind the scenes. Can you talk to that a little bit? I mean, I know he's been spending a lot of time with you guys, despite what has to be a really busy schedule for him.
Yeah, no, he's literally devoted time just for this. I mean, he moved from Puerto Rico to Orlando to be close to the Performance Center. And he's been traveling to Tampa every week, but every week we get in the ring and we work, and he's been putting in work, and because he doesn't want to go out there and just, be one of those celebrities that just comes to promote and do whatnot and then move on. He's really like, he's prideful. So he wants to make sure that not only is his performance, something that he can be proud of, but also he wants to earn the respect of everybody, and that was one thing. And I told him from the get-go, like, you're starting off the right way, because his first question to me was like, hey, if I do this, is that disrespectful? Because I don't want to disrespect anybody. And I was like, the fact that you asked that, you're going to be okay.
Volumes. Right.
Exactly.
Speaks volumes. Is the fact that you two share the Puerto Rican heritage, yes. Is that part of the reason you were able to get teamed up with him, because of the commonalities there, perhaps, or were you just the right man at the right place?
So yes, that obviously that does come into play. So
okay.
that I was an option because of that, and we met before he debuted at the Royal Rumble, which was also my debut on right before Raw.
By the way, you did quite well.
Thank you, man. That was also a crazy day. Just a crazy moment for me. But from the get-go that we met, we hit it off. We have that in common, that Puerto Rican heritage. Also, we're from the same neighborhood. We were raised in the same town in Puerto Rico. I have family members, I have ties to his family. And so we had a lot in common. And then our way of being, just being successful on our own terms. We didn't change the way we dressed or spoke or anything for the sake of just making it. We wanted to make it our way, and if we didn't, we'd be okay with that. So we had a lot in common that we discussed outside of just being super fans of wrestling. And then when it came down to, okay, well, what works best? I know for a fact that he was one that he was like, I like Damien Priest. I really would like to just stay with him. Like, we've been getting along anyway. And then we became friends. Like, it's crazy. Like, we hang out, goof around, and he made my transition easier, transition from NXT to Monday Night Raw. It's, like the new kid in school. So you don't know how you're going to be treated. You don't know how people are going to, like, the reception's going to be, like, are you wanted? There's a lot of things, and there's a lot of pressure, nerves. Having a buddy there to laugh and goof around with who's also experiencing the same thing, but you can kind of make each other forget about that. He made it easier on me, and I'm grateful to be in this spot. So it's cool. Like, the WrestleMania celebrity match or the attraction match, it sounds good on paper, but it's awesome because we're actually friends now. So I get to share that moment with a friend, and that makes it even that much more special.
I'm sure he needs you a lot, though. Can you speak to the fact that, here's a guy with no wrestling experience. He's got to get in the ring with you and face two really accomplished guys on the other side of the ropes. Yeah, can you talk about what the prep's like? I mean, this is something you have to be extremely careful with, I'm sure. You guys basically put each other's lives in your hands when you get in there. What's it like working with a non-wrestler for such a huge event? No pressure. I mean, You're welcoming fans back too here, so talk to me a little bit about that.
I'll tell you what, the hardest part in the prep, with our in-ring training and everything is, exactly, he's not an athlete. He's not a wrestler. So how do you transition from, a musical artist to wrestling? We got to be careful. And then we're trying to cram in so much in such little time that the fear is he gets hurt, because it's physical. There's only one way to do this, and it's to do it. There's no ifs and ups, and there's no other way. So he has to get in there, and he's got to take his licks, which he has. And he's been sore and beat up, and he's needed to say, hold on, I need a second. But he hasn't quit, and he comes back the next day. He might have ice packs and some bandages on, but he'll get back in the ring and he'll keep grinding. So that has been the coolest part of training, is to watching him just not give up. But yeah, that's the prep work as far as, or at least the hardest part of, the prep to get into this match. Aside from that, everything for me is normal, because I'm training like I would normally for any other match. Difference is me trying to figure out a way to control my nerves because it's WrestleMania. It's my first one, that I have been to since, I've been to WrestleManias, but as a fan. So this is the first one I'm on the other side of the barricade, number one. Number two, this is the first time in over a year that we're going to have fans in attendance. It's crazy when I saw the advertisement, you could get your tickets on Ticketmaster. That blew my mind. I was like, Ticketmaster is doing its thing again, like it's all awesome. I'm so excited. Not just for WrestleMania, but to have our people back, because again, our industry is built on that emotion and in a live interaction. So without them, it's kind of like we're going through motions and we're hoping we're doing it right. But we don't actually know. We don't know if we're really reaching and making people feel something. I think we figured out how to, get through it, but it's still not okay. So we're all super excited to be able to enjoy this with the fans. And for me, to be able to go out there in front of the WWE Universe, and talk about dreams, like I couldn't have written this book any better,
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a tremendous moment for you, even if the stadium is a third of the way packed, what have you. I went to a Tampa Raptors game probably 2.5 weeks ago. And I'm like, why does this feel so strange? And it wasn't the fact that it was like only 1,000 people in there. It's because we haven't watched live sports in more than a year,
Yeah,
exactly. And that
exactly.
sets in. It's going to set in for people there as well. I think you're going to get a really giddy audience, Damien. Just my thought is people are just going to be like, holy S, I'm finally back in front of fans and I can enjoy this again. That would be my guess.
I would think so. I mean, like, people have been wanting this. I mean, we see the comments all the time all over social media, and
Right.
how they want to get out of their homes. They want to live. And I get it, it's hard. Like, we're trying to be safe, and even still, of course, it's not full capacity. We're going to have pod seating, social distancing, mask screenings, and obviously the help of the vaccine is doing it's doing its best to keep everybody safer, because that had to be a priority, making sure everybody was safe and felt safe, not just for the idea of it. Like, we want people to feel comfortable, and obviously we recommend the vaccine. This way we could get closer to having full, capacity, and we encourage people to go out and go on the Hillsborough County website for more info on how to get the vaccines, so that we can get back even closer to normalcy, like actual normalcy. This is a taste, but I'm looking forward to next year's WrestleMania, where we get to have a packed house. I really hope so, but I'll take what I can get. And, a small percentage is better than nothing. And I'm extremely excited. And I agree with you. I think that the crowd is going to be psyched. I think they're going to be giddy. I think they're going to sound like there's 100,000 in there.
Yeah, I think the Super Bowl was an indication of that for sure, Raymond James
Exactly.
Stadium. I'm glad you guys are getting the word out about the vaccine. Obviously, we do that. We're trying to do that same work 4 hours a morning. I'm
Awesome.
the morning anchor over at ABC. What's the vaccine availability been like for the wrestlers? Can you speak to that at all? I mean, as of 2 days ago, it's everyone in the state's eligible. So has it been available to you guys before Monday?
I think for certain, performers, it was available, but now, like you said, is out there for everyone. So it's obviously up to us, because you can't, nobody's being forced to do anything. But
Right.
But everybody seems on board and about it, just being positive, saying, hey, let's do our part, because as much as I know the rest of the world does, and everybody sees us and they see that we've been doing, we continued, work, but it's not the same. Trust me, we want everything back the way it was. We don't want to live in the world like this anymore, just like everybody else. So we're very adamant of doing our part to set an example for those, because we know we do have a platform. So why not take advantage of it?
Well, I'll give you the platform this morning. Go ahead. For my viewing audience, which is probably not a majority of wrestling fans, but we are giving them every indication that they might enjoy this event. Sell the match for me. You, Bad Bunny, the attraction match, Miz, John Morrison on the other side. Go ahead. Stage is yours.
So, yeah, it's WrestleMania, the biggest event of the year, our Super Bowl. For me, this match, it's not just about going out there and doing moves. It's about creating a moment that you're going to be speaking about the next day, the next year, and so forth. this is what I'm about, my name, my legacy. And what I want is to have a moment that will live forever. And that's our goal, is to entertain to the max, the fullest. And I guarantee if you tune in, it's going to be a spectacle that you won't regret watching.
Damien, I'm not exactly sure where you call home now, but given your Puerto Rican heritage, Tampa's got to be a really fun place for you to be. I've learned a lot about the Puerto Rican culture while I've lived here for the past 5 years. I love the food, probably more than anything else. Cigars aren't bad either in Ybor City. I'm sure you're really enjoying this, and there's a lot of people that can relate to you and your upbringing, and vice versa.
Yeah, so I'm in Central Florida now, and yes, the culture here is it's big and it's in front, and it's awesome that getting this platform again, being on Monday Night Raw and having Bad Bunny alongside me, it's cool to give back a little bit to our community as far as the Hispanic community, where we kind of take, especially in this business, there's so many Hispanics in wrestling, right? In the WWE, there's been so many legends over the years, but we always somehow end up getting forgotten about as far as just our culture, where it was in the backseat or it's just not the prominent thing that you see. So it's kind of cool that with obviously Bad Bunny's help, that now I'll be pumping gas and I'll have somebody come up to me and not just say, hey, it's cool to meet Damien Priest, the WWE superstar. I'll get somebody saying, thank you. Thank you for shining some light on our culture, and educating people and they can see the other side. I just think that's super cool that I could be a part of that. But also, it's not just it's about everything, So it's cool that we have so many different cultures involved. And WrestleMania is a perfect example of it because we're everywhere, and we're a global company. It's not just an American-based company. We're global. So it's cool to be a part of that too. And Bad Bunny has helped put extra eyes on us. And our goal is to make sure that those same eyes that came in because of him don't leave if he leaves. We want them to stay on and watch the rest of the show as well and become fans of individuals and the product instead of just being there for just the one spectacle.
It's weird to say that you're a rookie in the WWE, but you kind of are. You're a couple of years my senior, and I may not look it, but I have some mileage on my tires. And, I can't imagine going into a new place and feeling like the new guy. How's it been for you? You talked about the locker room adjustment, it being a little bit different. Have you been welcomed? What a bizarre time for you to move to the main roster. You had to put, along with you, many others had to put this company on your back in the most bizarre time, hopefully, we ever face. Just talk to me a little bit about how things have been. I'm sure there's politics in any situation. WWE no different, but have you adjusted okay? Anything bothering you? How do you feel now?
Man, it's funny. I don't mind the rookie comment. It makes me feel good.
All right, good.
But you're absolutely right. I mean, you're in a new territory. When I first came into WWE and I had to join the Performance Center in NXT, that was an adjustment. And I knew it going in though, so I was already willing to change, willing to learn, willing to adapt. And I think for that reason, it made it easier on me, and everybody saw that immediately. And I was treated a certain way because of that. And then my work ethic, and not to say that nobody else works hard, but it's just I like to wake up and be proud of myself for doing what I say and preach. And it shows and people pick up on it. And then my transition over to Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Raw is completely different from NXT. And it was the same thing. I went in willing to adapt and learn and do what's needed to pay my dues. And I think everybody picked up on that immediately. And the same difference, I think it's been positive as far as the way I've been treated, the locker room and everything. Everybody's super cool and helpful because although this is an individual business, right? We're individual superstars. At the end of the day, we're still it's the common goal to entertain, to make people feel something and more. For me, when I became a fan, the reason why I fell in love with this is because of how I felt watching. And I remember watching, and it was like superheroes versus supervillains, but for like real, not in a movie or animation. So to me, I was like, that's the feeling I want to give others. I want people to feel that while watching me. And since I was a kid, I knew that this is what I had to do with my life because I wanted to be that. I wanted to be a superhero. And granted, I didn't get to be Batman, but I got to be Damien Priest, which is pretty cool too.
That's not bad, right?
But that's the idea. So I think we all have that in common, and as long as we're all like in a positive way, that's all we care about. And at its fullest is to love what we do and really give entertainment for our fans and for them to really enjoy the product. I think as long as we have that in common, it's an easy transition as far as how we get along and how I'm treated. So far so good, man. Everybody's been super cool, and I couldn't have wished for a better way to start the Raw career.
It's good to hear that. You and I grew up probably watching the same types of wrestlers and same type of wrestling, and it probably wasn't until I don't know, when the WWF changed their name, when we started using the word entertainment more and more. Because growing up, I'd watch this and I'd watch guys, and you've been on a hell of a winning streak, but I watch guys lose and I think, well, why would they want to keep doing this? And it wasn't until I got the entertainment moniker in my head and I grew up and I also started to get opportunity to interview some of you guys, and really enjoy that, when I understood, okay, it's not the winning and losing so much as it is that what you talked about, that making that connection with the audience, feeling like you did something that was mind-blowingly entertaining and you really wowed some people. That's it, right? That's the goal. That's what you're trying to leave this weekend coming up with. Those are the feelings.
Of course. Look, I'd be lying if I said I don't always
you want to win.
win.
Yeah, right.
But yes, there is something to the entertainment aspect. I'm in the spot I'm in right now because, to me, it all goes back to one match, and it was last year, a match with Finn Balor. It changed my trajectory. I went from somebody who helped elevate others and was a good hand and was a star in his own right, but for whatever reason, there was like a barrier. So the whole time I was trying to just be myself. Damien Priest is just an extension of me, who I really am. I'm not pretending. I'm going out there and just being a version of myself. But I really still thought I was still acting like what I viewed others viewing me, instead of just being me. And that day, for whatever reason, everything clicked. And I remember Triple H coming up to me saying, "That's the guy I've been looking for." And then from that day on, then I became North American champion. I'm headlining TV show after TV show and pay-per-views, and then Royal Rumble, Monday Night Raw, paired with Bad Bunny. Now I'm in WrestleMania. But it all started from a loss, So losses don't mean, in our business, a loss is part of the business. Everybody loses. It's not one of those businesses. Nothing is, and nobody's invisible in any sport, in any form of entertainment. Everybody has losses. So why not here? But it's how we entertain and then move forward from that. And I think, that's like you said, a lot of guys, you see them lose and lose. I lost for like 7 months straight before I was then the guy, right? So, and it didn't affect me. That's not what we do, because every loss I was able to entertain and do my job, which is our job, is that to evoke emotion out of our audience so that the W Universe can continue watching on a weekly basis, to continue being invested in our product. And that's the goal. So my goal is always to just do my job to the best of my abilities. And I think everybody on the roster is on par with that. And that's why you see like these incredible performances, like nonstop. It's unbelievable. I watch, and I believe trust me, I say it to myself all the time, where I'm like, man, how am I here? I don't know if I can hang with these guys. They're so good, because these are the very best in the world at what they do. And man, I'm fortunate to be able to share a locker room and pick everybody's brain. And it's so awesome. And like I said, this wide WrestleMania, it is what it is, because you have the very best putting on the best entertainment live in front of the world.
And look, you were fortunate to find that breakthrough character trait, or whatever. I think anybody who works in front of the camera, who has any experience in front of people entertaining, they're fortunate to find that, and it's good you did, and in the nick of time too, because I think this show is going to be really great. Let's cap it with this. Is there another match that you're really looking forward to, that I'm sure you gather by the monitor back there, what have you? There's several on the card, but is there one that you're really excited to see? Like, okay, I want to see what these guys do, how the fans react to this, and how it goes.
Yeah, man, because there's so many good matches. Like I can go with Rhea Ripley versus Asuka, like that. I know that match is going to be killer.
Tell me about Bianca Belair, because I get to talk to her tomorrow.
So that was where I was going next. Bianca versus Sasha. I knew Bianca in NXT, and we all had the same opinion of her. Everybody in the back, every wrestler, and every big wig in the company, everybody has the same opinion. What an athlete! What a human being! They go hand in hand because she is an awesome person, just a human. Like, she is a really good person. So you want her to succeed. And then you see this freak of nature athlete, which is like she does things that I'm like, man, she puts me to shame.
Yeah.
You know, she's so gifted, and man, she's like, as far as this business, she's still just a baby when it comes to this business. So I could only imagine what she's going to accomplish, and I look forward to just being there watching as a fan, and also, you know, as an employee with her and a friend. I am the world is the world is hers, man, because she is that talented, and I'm excited for her. And I know she's gonna kill it at WrestleMania.
Well, I hope the same for you, my friend Damien. Best of luck. I wish you break a leg out there. I mean, have a great time, enjoy it, but put on a show, and I'll be watching from the comfort of my living room, and I'm looking
Awesome,
forward
man.
to it.
Thanks.
And hopefully attending next year. That would be great. So thanks.
That would be awesome.
Best of luck. Thanks for your time, and thanks for all this time. Much appreciated.
My pleasure.
All right, Damien. Thank you.
You got it.